Playing slots is exciting. It's an enjoyable hobby, but winning can be emotionally exhausting, and hours of slots play can be physically exhausting. Both can lead to excessive and prolonged stress. If that occurs, we can feel overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and be unable to meet the constant demands of our wonderful hobby, which can lead to burnout. The signs of burnout include exhaustion, hating our job or hobby, turning to cynicism, and a decline in health. Any job can be overdemanding and lead to burnout. It doesn't have to be slots, but casinos are special work environments, louds, loud, sometimes smoky, stressful, lots of flashing lights and loud music, and a whole lot more. Today we'll talk about Today we'll talk about warning signs and how you can regain your balance and feel positive and hopeful again. Yes, about playing slots. And of course, I'll be taking your questions because this is a live stream. I'm only saying that because, of course, the people who are live here now know it's a live stream, but you might be watching this after the fact. Hello to you watching this recording. Thank you for being here, and be sure to subscribe for notifications so you can have your questions answered the next time I do one of these. But either way, stick around, and I'm sure it'll be of value to you, even if you are watching this after the fact. And those of you who are here live, thank you so much. And a big shout out to my podcast listeners who will be hearing this at a later time. Uh, you know, I'm glad that you are here and letting me, you know, say stuff into your ears. Watch the road, please. Thanks. If you have a question, use hashtag question. That's so I can be sure to spot your question to me instead of comments in the live chat to each other. After all, this is a community video, and a community video is on topic for what we're talking about today. This is a community video where friends check in about how their slots play has been going lately and if they're undergoing burnout or not, as we'll discuss. And thanks to the other creators of slots channels who are quietly watching my live streams. I'm glad so many of you have decided to watch. Educating yourself is important, and the gradual passing down of my concepts onto your audience members is how our industry changes and grows. So please enjoy the show. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at john@professorslots.com. Improve your slots performance in 30 days. Improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. I had to look away for a second there. You'll get 3 free valuable bonuses plus 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership, formerly known as Slots Enthusiast Growth Network, which was a mouthful, where you'll get community support, more community support, and accountability. Visit professorslots.com/30 days to learn more about the bonus content, the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. And if you are on the fence about this, if you're on the fence about buying the course, its price is increasing this weekend at midnight on Sunday, July 31st, when it will soon no longer be 40% off for an $80 savings, as you can see from this countdown clock. So in 5 days, 5 hours, 56 minutes, and 20 seconds, it will no longer be the price that it is at. The price will go up. If you purchase the course, as you know, you're good to go because of your lifetime access bonus. But if you've been putting it off, get it now. Time is running out. Constant demands. Let me just take a moment and shout out to my moderators. I think I have at least 2 of them here, 3 of them here. Jan, who is Texas Tootsie, Paula, who's been my moderator for a couple of years now. Slots of fun. Thank you all 3. And I know the 4th one won't be here. He's at the casino, which, I guess that's okay. Work demands. So Chuck is, he may be listening from the road, but I know he's at the casino. So welcome to my moderators. Thank you so much for your help. So constant demands results in ongoing stress, which, as it continues, can lead to a loss of interest and motivation. Constant stress at playing slots can lead to this loss of interest and motivation, which when you aren't paying attention, which is when you're not paying attention to what you're doing, it can lead to lost opportunities and even more stress, finally ending in burnout. There is a difference between stress and burnout. I worked as an aerospace engineer for 20 years. People's lives depended upon my doing good work. If I didn't and something catastrophic happened, first time I'd see it on CNN. When I gave tours to students or other engineering groups or other companies or executive leadership teams through my labs and all my coworkers' labs because I enjoyed giving tours, so I'd give tours for them too. And frankly, I was good at it. I'd point to members of our first responder inspection field team and say, "Hey, Joe, turn around." Then I'd point him and tell the tour, "That's Joe. Do you recognize the back of his head from watching the aftermath of plane crashes and airplane engine fires on news channels?" And some of them would nod. Yes. There's a fascinating, oh, I should also mention, I was surprised by how much I really like today's topic about burnout because I'll tell you a little bit more about it. But one of the things I wanted to share was this screen here. This is the Federal Aviation Administration.gov, FAA.gov website. They have something called a FAA Technical Library, which you can search its catalog. And if you search its catalog, you can type in, and I'll go to that website, and you can type in FRIEDL, enter. And these are my articles within the FAA Technical Library catalog. The first one, I was one of several authors. I think I wrote primarily a very long appendix in this. It is fundamental work, trust me, it is, for inspections. I did this while I was still a graduate student at Iowa State University. The second one, and you either know this or you don't, I'm first author, which is a big deal. Got that right before I got my PhD. Basically, this kicked off my career as an aerospace engineer, as though I had one video and 2 subscribers on a slots channel, and Brian Christopher commented and said how much he liked it. More than that, that's what this did for me. So naturally, I, well, we'll talk about my burnout issues in a moment. So there's a fascinating relationship between stress and burnout. For instance, stress is characterized by over-engagement, but burnout is characterized by disengagement. Overreactive emotions due to stress become blunted during burnout. I was looking up this topic at the Mayo Clinic website and read that stress. I thought I really kind of clued in on this. It reminded me of my own personal issues with burnout and things I've worked through. I read that stress may kill you prematurely, but burnout may make your life seem not worth living. Sorry, funny but true, I guess. Just thinking about my life. Again, because of my former job, stress and burnout are old friends. I used to tell my second to last boss that I was familiar with burnout, but that there was a land beyond it. But it's a desolated land. So to deal with burnout, slots related or not, the first tip is to turn to other people, reach out to others. Join these live streams where I pick a slots topic and chat about it, hopefully without any stress for you. These live streams are social events, and social contact is nature's antidote to stress. Ask questions, engage a good listener. Those are one of the fastest ways to calm down and relieve stress. Another way to recover from burnout is to re-examine your work. Some of you have slots as a hobby, but others want it as a part-time or even full-time job. Burnout is less likely if you love your job. For us, if we love playing, for us, if we love playing slots, and we can do that if playing slots is neither too rushed, we're pushed off our feet, or too monotonous. And playing slots is sometimes both, back to back, one right after the other. You're just going along just fine, and somebody taps you on the shoulder and says, "Spin this wheel. Let's see if you want a car." And then you do. And you're like, "I hope you don't need a legible handwrite signature because I just can't seem to do it with all the adrenaline running through my body." True story. So in my Slots ID membership, again, new name instead of Slots Enthusiast Growth Network. Wow, that 4 big words. Slots ID. Excuse me, Slots IQ. I have to get used to it. Slots IQ. I should say our Slots IQ membership. We make friends with we're making friends with each other. We talk about the best ways to engage casino employees to both learn from them but also to create a friendly slots experience. There's several more ways to come back from the land of burnout. Everything from setting boundaries. Just thought I heard my family say, "What are those?" Taking a break, not overextending. I'm just cracking myself up today. I apologize. Nourishing our creative side. My personal favorite, getting plenty of sleep. And of course, exercise with a healthy diet. So my favorite thing was followed by my least favorite thing. Are you burnout from playing slots? I think some of you are. I've had direct conversations in the last week that people are trying so hard to recover from burnout after trying to do too much for months at slots. Taking a break, as I discussed a few weeks ago on another live stream, is another way to fight it. Has anyone here heard about mindfulness? Facing disparaging remarks from competitors is where I use it, to face those situations with openness and patience and without judgment. I don't know what they're going through. I know from my accountant that all YouTubers are like crashing. Brand deals are out the window, and the AdSense is just down because nobody wants to buy advertising. That's the first thing that goes away. So it's just disaster after disaster out there, and so the anger comes through. I don't know. I've tried. I don't know what these people are going through. So we'll get to the questions in a moment. But in the meantime, improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. And you'll get 3 free valuable bonuses, including free membership to my Slots IQ network membership, where you'll get community support and accountability. Something we're talking about today. Very friendly environment. We have live Zoom meetings every Thursday night, and it's just been great fun. Visit professorslots.com/30 days. I'm showing that to you now. There's a lot here, including testimonials, and I break down the different sections of the course, and you can read it for yourself at professorslots.com/30 days. Yes, Kiri. And my cat, one of my cats, and that's where you go to find out about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials. If you're still on the fence about buying the course, its price is increasing this weekend at midnight. Let me show you that. In 5 days and 5 hours, not long at all. And a week ago, it was a week and 5 days. Now it is 5 days. So that increase will take place this weekend at midnight on Sunday, July 31st. And it will no longer be 40% off for an $80 savings. And you can see the countdown clock. That's how long you have. If you've purchased the course, you're good to go because of your lifetime access bonus, which you also will be getting if you purchase it. But if you've been putting it off, get it now. Time is running out. If you have a question, be sure to use #question. My moderators know to kind of point that out because honestly, the comments fly by, and there we are. Good. I've got an hour and 45 minutes before my voice gives out, and I'll go until we don't have any more questions. So please ask your questions. Hi, everybody. Again, thank you, moderators. Let me jump back up to the beginning to see what's going on. Yes, yes. This shirt, I usually wear a Professor Slot's shirt, but I figured in if to, talk about burnout, I would do some of the things I do, like wear a Hawaiian shirt. Hawaiian shirt day, decal says. That's right, absolutely. Um, uh, and, um, Jan, on Saturday, we had Larry, Kipper, who's in England, and he might give you a challenge for how hot it is in Texas. Yeah, I bet it is. And I had to turn the fan off to have the live stream, and yeah. Um, so Richard says, what to do when burnout playing the tightest and most profitable. Why did you keep on saying that? The last time you asked a question, you included that. Um, okay. I don't understand your repeated question. Um, and we talked about what you do. Let's see. 33 Celsius. And I can convert it in my head to 90 Fahrenheit. I can, honestly. Beach is great. Going up to 38 C this weekend. Wow. Um, uh, is that over 100? Barely? Wow. It is today's high was 81. Yesterday was, it hasn't been below 95 in a long time. Yeah. And Lots of Fun says, talking to Richard, you'll really enjoy the course. He's on, Fun is on day 17, he says. Camilla says, more than halfway through my self-exclusion year. Glad I discovered Professor Slots. Great to see you here, Camilla. Robe asks the question, how about only gambling twice a year? I look forward to those 2 times going to Vegas and being prepared with a plan. Right? Right? I've been asked many times on consultations in the last couple of weeks, uh, what if I wanted to do this all the time for various reasons? Some just to, well, it's consultations are private, but I'll just only speak in generalities. But there's reasons to go that don't have to do with making a living at it, but wanting to do it regularly. It's obscure enough for you. Some people do want to make a living at it. Others don't want to have it to cost too much, and but then still be able to sort of pay for itself. And I've had to talk to them, okay, so if you are talking about a whole year, there are times when you shouldn't go to Vegas, January and February. It's just, it's not a good time for any business. And Las Vegas is a lot of businesses all in a particular industry. And in November, December, a lot of people spend a lot of money on Thanksgiving, Christmas, the holidays, whatever. And in January and February, they don't spend as much money. So casinos, all businesses are like, this is when we take our vacations. Except, of course, some are very specific about that time. And so that is a time when um, uh, everything is not at the peak in Las Vegas. The beta team instead of the alpha team is kind of running things. So it's if you're going to go year round to Las Vegas, there are times of the year. If you want to go every month, then you have to skip a couple of months here and there, because you'll know the first time you go that that's not a good month. Or you can check the records and know before you lose money, and that's how you know. So if you go year round, that's great. I hope that the 2 times, Robe, that you're talking about going to Las Vegas, it will be a good time. That it will be a good time for you. Pretty sure that's not January and February, based on this last January and February, which has been the closest thing to normal in like 3 years. um, Uh, so yes, one of the things that I realized about myself with the work that I've done is I, I I did inspections. I developed inspections. There would be a plane crash, something to do with the engine, and then we would figure out as a team. My role was to go to conferences and know the latest technologies and see if it can be applied in useful ways because we really had to keep ahead of this, and we'd find out what was wrong, and then figure out a way to look for it in the rest of the fleet. SpaceX wanted to hire me. They called me up and tried to convince me to come out, but they couldn't. They're not. They weren't really in a position of having a fleet where we'd figure out all the crash pieces and we'd figure out what happened, and then we would look at the rest of the fleet. But they hadn't built it yet. They don't have a fleet yet. They had a few, not you know um, General Electric Aviation, one of the places that I worked, their plane, one of their engines takes off every second on average all day long. So that's not SpaceX. And so uh, I, when I was working there, I would watch the news for a plane crash. And when a plane had an engine problem, it's not the plane. You have to kind of see what engines the planes have. And so sometimes they have more than one. So then you have to wait to find out exactly which model plane was it, because then you would know, half those planes have one engine, half those planes have another company's engine. And was it the engines that I would work on? But at this point, having worked 6 years at one company that made commercial jet engines, that's number one or number two in the world, and then 8.5 years at the company that made military or commercial jet engines, number one or number two. So those were the one and two, right? I worked at both, so I really can't say which one was number one because the rest of them would be like boom me down. And so when I watch for plane crashes, it's quite possible it's one of the planes for the companies that I worked for. But I did not work on every engine because not every engine had a crash during my 15 years and as an aerospace engineer. A little bit more than that. 15 years working that way, but as a graduate student in that field, call it 20 years, 22 years, and didn't get interested until I got the job and was given a badge and told what was really going on. Anyway, 2 years ago yesterday, I was laid off from the second company. I decided to do professor slots. Anyway, what I'm trying to say here, and I apologize if I sound a little stressed because it's not over. Planes last for 20, 30 years with care and maintenance. And so some of the projects that I worked on that I hope that I did well at would be, I tried to do well at, could be going for a long time. So I still watch the news for my engines. Yeah. Some projects I was halfway through when I was laid off, and they weren't finished by the time I got laid off because they gave me 20 minutes to get out. So, nothing got closed out in that 20 minutes when I was putting things in boxes. But how responsible am I for those projects that were only started? So I hope that this gives you an idea of what burnout looks like. My circles under my eyes and the haunted look on my face. And I hope I'll be able to sleep tonight. But burnout is a serious thing. And slots can be different. So please make sure that you ask your questions. We have something I noticed last time. We've got something of a light audience. It's just as Jan, the moderator, was saying, it's hot, 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 and and it's everybody's out enjoying it or running from it or on the beach. So I understand summers are always particularly quiet. I have posted 2 videos this week. I have 2 more coming out, one tomorrow night, another next one's tomorrow night, the other one's Friday. I have 2 more live streams this week on other topics. I came out this week. Total will be 7. Will be 7. Thank you, moderators. You're earning your pay, as it were. I have 7 podcast episodes coming out. Well, some of them are bonuses to podcast episodes, but there's 7 of those coming out. There's only been 3 or 4 so far this week, and the other 3 or 4 are coming out tomorrow and then on Friday night at 8. So be sure to watch for those. Yeah. So let me just take care of a few trolls right. So I don't see any questions, and I've already gotten comments about how it's going slow, and I will cut it short and wish you all a great evening. Remember, my course price is going up on Sunday, 5 days from now, and that will be that. And great live stream, short but sweet. You'll see me in my next live stream on Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern. In the meantime, I recommend you watch this video on what's better than my 5-spin method. Everybody take care. Thank you so much.